And I think we're in too deep.
Hey y'all, so I am back. I told y'all that I was gonna do this video to basically tell like how I started my business and a little bit of my background and how I started everything. So I am going to let y'all know how I started. So basically, well, let me just start by saying like my background has always been in fashion. My background has always been in fashion. So like I always been into fashion. Like I know everybody say, oh, since I was young, I always been into this and that. But it's like it's really true. I always been into fashion since I was like young, honey. Like when I say young, woo, like I mean young. Like I was getting my doggone nails done in elementary school. I don't remember what grade I was in when I was getting my nails done. I think I was about in the second grade when I first got my nails done. Like I always like played in makeup. I always dressed up when I was young. So it just basically came natural to me, if that makes sense. So it was like something I already knew that I was gonna have a background in, like of doing. Like when I was young, I was like, honey, when I grow up, guess what I'm gonna be? I'm gonna be a fashion designer. I'm gonna be a boutique owner. I was like, I'm gonna own my boutique. And I used to tell people this all the time, and they used to be like, look at me crazy. So I was like, I'm gonna be a boutique owner. Like I'm gonna be a designer, and I'm gonna design my own clothes, and I'm gonna be a model and a model myself. Some of that came true because I started designing some of my clothes, but I stopped because it got a little hectic or whatever. It was too much. But I think I'm gonna like start back coming up with my own design. So yeah, I had basically had a background in fashion or whatever. So like I always been into art or whatever. I'm like a artsy type person or whatever. So I always been into that thing. Like even when I was in high school, I always been into art. I always been into fashion and stuff like that. So after I graduated like high school, I went to school for fashion design or whatever. So I got my degree in fashion design, and then I went back to do fashion marketing management during the time that, in the midst of the time that I opened up my boutique. I opened up my boutique basically it was in 2013 when I opened up my boutique. So I am coming up on 8 years next year in April. It'll be my 8 years in business or whatever. So yeah, I opened up my boutique, and basically how I officially opened up the boutique. Okay, so like I've never been the type of person like to have a job. Like I had one job in my whole entire life, and it took me forever to get the job. Like I got the job when I was maybe around about 19ish, 20, I think. And well, I worked there for about 2 years. I worked in the mall. It's a mall in Memphis, the Oak Court Mall. So I worked it at this little perfume stand, selling like those little oils or whatever. And like when I was working there, everybody used to compliment me on my clothes, my makeup, and all of that. And like in the midst of that time that I was working there, y'all, I was selling clothes on the side, like to people who kept always like, oh, that is so cute, girl, where you get that from? And I'm like, oh, I sell it. So like I used to just order some clothes. So basically like I actually started boutiquing before I knew it, way before 2013, like, because I was working there about 2011 and or whatever, and I used to be like a good salesperson there. Everybody just used to love just coming to me. Everybody used to love my energy. Everybody used to be like, oh my God, your hair's so pretty, your makeup's so pretty, you're so pretty, you have a good personality. And it was just like a breath of fresh air when I came to start working there, because I was like the new girl. Everybody like, who is that? And sometimes people just wanted to see what I was doing. They wanted to see what I was about, what I was doing. And I'm sitting up here selling perfume, the little oils or whatever, essential oils or whatever. That's what I was selling. So that's how I basically got my push. I was really doing good at that the perfume kiosk or whatever, the oil kiosk. I was really doing good because like I was making the owner so much freaking money. I was selling little bottles of essential oils. Like I was like, dang, like I am really, good at this because nobody would never hire me in sales. And like when I used to go to like, all the little stores like Forever 21, Aeropostales and stuff like that. I used to want to work there, but they wouldn't hire me. So that the man who owned that business, he hired me off the jump. I was walking through the mall. He was like, "Hey, you looking for a job?" And I'm like, "Yes, honey, I am," because at the time I was in school for fashion design. So I'm like, of course I'm looking for a job. I gotta pay for school and books and all of that. So yeah, I'm like, so he hired me on the spot, and I worked there for about 2 years. So in the midst of those 2 years, I was selling clothes on the side to people. Like I was making up stuff, coming up with designs for people. They're like, "Oh, I'm going to this party. Like, do you know where I can get this?" So I was selling clothes, y'all. I really was. I would be like ordering clothes for them, making clothes for them for their little parties they had going on or events and stuff like that. And then like when I realized like what made me want to start the business, like I was just seeing like how much money I was making the owner of that oil stand or whatever. So I'm like, dang, I'm really making him like money. It was like $1,000 a day, honey. Like that's how good my like selling was, because people just gravitated towards me because I was just like, really down to earth and fun, energetic. I was cute, hair done, makeup done. Everybody just like wanted to know what I was selling. And they thought I was selling like makeup or something. They like, "What you over here selling?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm selling oil." So they would buy it, and I would just make the owner so much freaking money. Like, especially like during the holiday time. Oh my God. Like, when I say rolling, baby, I was rolling with them sales back to back, and I was just handing them like, "Hey, I would make everybody feel special, or whatever," which you should. So that what made me realize, like, dang, I'm doing this for somebody else. Like, I need to be doing this for myself but at the same time, I got a lot of, I guess you could say, experience with working there. So I knew like, oh, let me get the experience first and, figure out how to start the business and run things. So basically I got a little free game or whatever. And that's how I figured out everything when it came to me opening up my business. So then, like, after I figured out all that, I was like, honey, it's time for me to go because this is not what I want to do. And I tried to do it the year before that. Like, it was around about 2012. But I was like, oh, no, I'm going to continue to, work at the mall or whatever. I'm like, I'm going to continue to work there. I'm not going to start it this year. But all while selling clothes still. I'm selling purses, I'm selling clothes, dresses, jackets, like everything. And I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to stay, continue working at the mall. And I'm like, it's just something that really gave me that push because, like, I don't know, I had a co-worker that stayed bugging me, y'all, stayed bugging me. And I'm just like, I just can't deal with this no more. And I know it was God's way of just pushing me out the door to be like, girl, go and work for yourself. Co-worker, like, oh my gosh, like, got on my nerves because they just had to find everything on me. And I was like, okay, I know there's God's way of just really trying to get me out the door because I'm the type of person, if you get on my nerves, bye. Like, that's just me. And I'm quick with it. Like, bye if you really get on my nerves. So that coworker just really pushed me because he kept getting on my nerves and finding little things to bug me about, what really pushed me to open up my store. And also, I just seen, like, how much money I was making, the owner of that business. And I was like, I could do this myself. So, like, let me stop playing and go ahead. And I'm already selling clothes. So, I'm like, let me stop playing and go ahead and open up my boutique. So, I was like, honey, I put that 2-week notice in. And I was like, I want to put my 2-week notice in, honey. I am finna go. And they were so sad, like, oh my God, because, like, I was the top dog in sales or whatever. So, like, me and one other person, the one who was getting on my nerves. But yeah, I was like the top dog, so they was sad to see me go or whatever. But I was like, I got to go. I gotta go. I gotta go right now, or whatever. So I put my 2 week notice in, and in the midst of that, like I opened up my business, girl. I mean, y'all, I'm over here hollering, girl, like I'm just talking to my friend, y'all. I opened my business like in two or 3 weeks, like boom, it was just happening so fast. And people be like, like, how did you get the funds, how did you get the money? Honey, I saved my money from working when I worked at the mall. I ain't have nothing else to do. Well, I shopped, I shopped a lot, but I saved my money. I saved some of it. So yeah, I saved up my money within that midst of time of me leaving, because I was already preparing for it, but I just didn't know when, like, when I was gonna do it. So I saved my money, and then tax time came during the time that I left. So I was like, oh, I got the money I saved plus tax money, and I put it all together. And I opened up my business or whatever. So I opened that up in 2013, April of 2013. So I opened that up, and I've been running ever since. Ever since, honey, I have been in business that long. I didn't have different locations though. Now I have had different locations because I just wanted to find the area that I like. So I just tried like different areas, and I would not suggest to do that. I mean, if you got the money to do it, do it. But I wouldn't suggest to do it if you're just starting out. Like, but knowing me, I'm always the type of person who like to take a leap of faith, honey. Like, I'm just like, when I want something, I'm going to get it or whatever. Like, so that's just me. And so yeah, that's how I basically opened up my business, how I started, like everything. And in the midst of that, I also did makeup when I was working at the mall. I also did styling, and then I sold clothes on the side. Wasn't supposed to be doing that, but baby, I was selling it, honey. So I was selling clothes on the side. I was doing makeup, like I was styling or whatever. All while the midst of going to work, honey. And when I say going to work, I was working like 7 days a week at the mall, and I was doing all of that. So yeah, and then I opened up my business. That's how like everything just really, started to happen, and everybody was, amazed and knew all at the same time. They was like, they already knew. They were just waiting on me to do it, But yeah, business has been going ever since, like consistently going through all the mishaps or anything like that. Still going, honey. Just too blessed. But the only thing I could say about that is like, take a leap of faith. Like, I mean literally, because when you got the vision to do it, just do it. Like, could nobody get in my way? And I had people who tried to stop me from doing it. Like, oh, why would you want to do this? Why would you want to open up a boutique? And during the time I opened, it was not a lot of boutiques here in Memphis. Like, during that time, it was not that many. It was only a few. So I was like, shoot, let me go ahead and do what I love to do. Go ahead and get it popping or whatever. And yeah, I had a lot of people like, why would you spend your money on doing this, or why would you do that, or oh, you're not gonna make it, like whatever. Because guess what God has for you is for you, honey. So how is you gonna tell me what I'm not gonna do? Like, I knew I was going somewhere, and I know I'm still going somewhere. So you can't tell me nothing, okay? Because the Lord did not put the vision in you. He put it in me, so you cannot see it, first of all, okay? But I had a lot of people just, man, it was just so crazy when I first started. It was like, I had some haters, and I still got some. Honey. So, but I also have a lot of people who support me, genuinely support me, and I'm just so thankful for that. But yeah, I had a lot of people try to stop me from opening this business or whatever, and I was just like, whatever. And ever since then, I've been on gold mode since then. Like, I we in 2020, so I'm still rolling and still praying to continue to roll, honey, or whatever. So that's how I basically started my business. That's how I opened up. I don't know how other people are, but I just know that's how I started or whatever. And I knew what I wanted to do. So yeah. As you can tell, I'm sitting here recording this video at work, and I'm supposed to be working, and like I'm supposed to be opening up, like, girl, just sitting here talking to y'all. But I just had to let you know how I started my business, how I got it started, like, and stuff like that or whatever. But I may do more business, like, talk or whatever, to try to help somebody out, because I ain't had a help. I just did it all. Well, I mean, I had it because I worked at the mall and I was watching and I was getting free game without them knowing. You know what I'm saying? I was just preparing myself when I did open up my business. And like, I also went to school for fashion design and fashion marketing or whatever, fashion marketing management or whatever. And I got the degrees in both of those. So I mean, but you don't have to go to school. Y'all do not have to go to school. I was just going with the flow. You know, you really just don't have to go to school for that. Like, I wanted to do it because that was something I wanted to accomplish and I wanted to do. I was like, oh, I can't wait to graduate because I'm going to art school. I'm going to get my degree in fashion design. Like, that was one of my things I wanted to do. And, like, I took classes in high school to try to learn how to sew and stuff like that. So, I kind of knew what I was doing. And then, like, when I did fashion design, learn how to do all of that. And then, like, I was like, well, I want to learn the business side of fashion. So I took fashion marketing management. So they, like, really, really, really helped me grow in my business and know how to make, like, better business decisions that really help. But you don't have to do that. You really don't have to go to school to do all of that or whatever. But that's basically how I started my business. Let me just say, like, how I got into makeup. So, because I also do that as well. So, I do makeup as well. I was doing makeup out of high school. So, like, I would makeup, but it wasn't, like, foundation and stuff like that. It was more, like, eyeshadow, eyelashes, lip gloss. But, like, or if it was a special occasion, like, yeah, I did the full face or whatever. But I was doing makeup, like, I got into that, like, when I was in high school. And then, like, I did a couple of people makeup for prom after I graduated. I did a couple people makeup. That just really got me into it. And then I did a couple people makeup, like, when I was working at the mall. And then, like, when I opened my business, that's when I started, like, booking makeup clients or whatever. I started getting clientele for the boutique. And I started the stylist thing. Like, I started the stylist thing about 2011. So I started being a wardrobe stylist in 2011 because everybody always came to me asking me, like, I need help. Like, help me pick out some clothes to go here. Help me do this or help me do that. And I'm like, okay, so I'm just going in their closet or going shopping with them and just putting stuff together. And I'm like, honey, I need to turn this into a job because that's something else I love doing. I love styling people. Like, I love styling people and I love doing makeup for people because I just like to make people feel good about themselves. Because I know when you get all that done up or whatever, you feeling good about yourself. So I just love doing it for other people. And I want them to feel like $1,000,000, honey. Like, I want you to feel like you that, you know, and you're rich, honey. Like, I want y'all to feel like that. So I love, like, I just love my job. I love doing all three. You know, I love doing all three: styling, boutique, and makeup. Like, I just started modeling, y'all. So I guess I could add that to my resume too as well. So I just started modeling or whatever, like maybe about 6 or 7 months ago. I just started modeling because everybody always told me, like, oh, you know, you have the look to do this. And I'm just like, I'm more the behind the scenes person. I don't want to be in front of no camera. Even though I can work it, I was like, oh no, I don't want to do it. And then like I just finally pushed myself to do it. Like I was like, I'm gonna start modeling. Like I know I got it, girl. Let's do it. So I just started modeling too as well. Um, so that's another thing I can add to my resume. I know it's a lot. It's a lot, a whole lot I be doing. You know, but I just love what I do, and it's just fun to me. It doesn't seem like a job or whatever. It's tiring, but it don't seem like a job. It's just something natural, something that just can't be taught. It got to be in you. It just cannot be taught. So yeah, that's basically how I started everything. And I think like my next video, I'm gonna take y'all behind the scenes of like my photo shoots, because yeah, I be doing photo shoots for my boutique too, and I be doing everything like the styling. I'm the stylist, I'm the model, and I have other models too as well. So I'm the model, I am the makeup artist, I am the hairstylist. So I do it all in one, and I don't have to hire nobody to do it because I'm just that type of person. Maybe one day I'm gonna hire some help, but I enjoy doing it. So like everything you see, I'm hands on with my business.